Good morning. Oatmeal with mixed berries. It's a good breakfast. You can see the sun poking up behind me there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anywho. Yeah. So I was told once again by the exact same evangelical apologist that as an atheist I am miserable, just miserable. And if I would just accept Jesus into my heart, I would finally be happy and not be so miserable all the time. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I actually made a video talking about this just the other day. Depression. Talking about depression. And religiously induced depression. And the fact that since I arrived at atheism 25 years ago, a quarter of a century ago, I have not had any major issues of religiously induced depression. I've actually been quite happy with my life. Once you get rid of the religiously induced shame, self-doubt, self-loathing, yeah, the religiously induced sense that you are a miserable sinner and filthy rags and totally depraved, once you get rid of those ideas, your life gets better. Yeah, seriously. But apparently, I am miserable. Yeah. I'm so unhappy. Right. Dude, seriously. Well, oatmeal and mixed berries, as I said, quite delicious. Yeah. Yeah. But I suppose it makes sense for a person who lives in a state of religiously induced depression to assume that everybody else must also live in a state of despair and self-doubt and self-loathing just like he does. But he has the joy of knowing that he has been redeemed. That is, he has been given worth and value by Jesus. So that now he can do whatever he damn well pleases, and Jesus will forgive him. Yeah. Funny how that works. Atheists don't have that. Instead, we have the notion that we are accountable not to a magical God in the sky, but to our fellow human beings, our neighbors, our community, the people around us. That's who we are accountable to, not an invisible God in the sky, but our community as a whole. Yeah. Our fellow human being. And so, while we cannot ask a magical invisible God in the sky to forgive us, we can certainly live our lives being accountable to, again, our fellow human beings who are real and who we can see. I can actually see my neighbors, my fellow human beings, and talk to them. And I do, frequently. Yeah. I do. Because they are my neighbors, they are my community. But, going off on a tangent here, I have a functional life in the real world. And now that I no longer suffer so much religiously induced depression with its related self-loathing and self-hatred, yeah, I no longer live with that. So, yeah, I am no longer a miserable person. And that might be the difference between me and you. Yeah. I was a miserable person. And you still are. And I'm not saying this to gloat at you, but to commiserate with you. I really do hope that whatever is making you so unhappy, you get treated. Talk to a psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor, somebody, and get treated. Address the issues that make you so unhappy and so miserable. And I can almost guarantee you that those issues are religiously induced or societally induced by suburbia. So they were either instilled in you by your church, or they were instilled in you by your environment, which is suburbia. Because let's face it, you're a suburbanite, aren't you? Yeah. And suburbia is the perfect hell. Yeah. A car-centric landscape of cookie-cutter houses, homeowners associations, and stroads that you have to drive in order to go anywhere. Where anybody too young to drive is automatically a prisoner in their own home. Yeah. 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 And where not having a vehicle is damn near a death sentence. Yeah. Because after all, the homeowners associations, they don't want buses coming to their neighborhoods. Buses bring those other people. You don't want that. Yeah. No. Suburbia and religion are the reason that you are such a miserable individual. And the reason that you need to project this misery onto me, an atheist. And it's a funny thing. You never show your face. You never show your face, your actual face. Whereas, ta-da, this is my face. Yes. And damn, I am handsome. I am so gorgeous. Absolutely. Well, that's what my girlfriend thinks anyway. Yeah. But I'm digressing. No, I am not miserable. I am not unhappy. I am not desperately struggling with despair and despondency. I don't think of my life as being pointless and worthless. I enjoy life. And I enjoy life because I am no longer constrained by, again, religiously induced depression, religiously induced self-loathing, religiously induced self-doubt. I am also no longer constrained by suburbia. Actually, I never was, because I've never lived in suburbia. Yeah. I have always been an apartment dweller. I have always lived in apartments. Yeah. Yeah. Currently living on the top floor of a 3-story walk-up. Yeah. And this is my balcony. You may have noticed it's quite lovely up here, and I have a beautiful garden over there. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There's my vertical garden. Yeah. Okay. But, yeah. There's always a but. Sometimes it's my girlfriend's butt. Right in my face. There you go, honey. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, well. But I digress. I'm not suggesting that you should convert to atheism. Heaven forbid that, because, well, simply it's not possible. But I am asking you to reconsider a lot of your religiously induced notions about atheists and atheism, and your religiously induced notions about your own self-worth, or the relative lack thereof. If your sole sense of self-worth comes from the fact that Jesus gave you value when he redeemed you, you don't have self-worth. You've had to borrow it from somewhere else. Whereas me, I accept the fact that I am a decent human being who deserves to be treated decently. And you believe that you are totally depraved and deserving hellfire. Pardon me. Oh, well. Which point of view is more depressing? Oh, wow. Anyway. That's enough out of me. Take care, be well. Say hi to the wife for me. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, do tell her that I said hello. Yeah. 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 Have a nice day. Have an enjoyable day. And yes, get out of the house and go somewhere and do something. Go to the park. Is there a park in your suburb? Do they allow parks in your particular suburb? I hope they do. You should go to one. Take some pictures and post them. Yeah. Seagull. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, go to the park, take some pictures, post them, and maybe take some pictures of the flowers. Maybe even look at the bees and the butterflies and the beetles. And I just realized I made a terrible joke. Yes. Oops, sorry about that. John Paul, George, and Ringo. John Paul, George, and Ringo. Yeah. Brain farts. It's getting close to Summerfolk. And if you've paid attention to my videos, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of Summerfolk. Go there every year. I build that every year. Absolutely. Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah. In any case, get out of the house and go someplace nice where there are grass and trees. And I don't mean manicured lawns that are this tall. I mean grass. Tall grass. Grass that comes up to your chest. Go there. Check it out. All right. You may discover a whole new perspective on life. You just might. And maybe you'll arrive at atheism. Yeah. The nature that you only seem to be able to enjoy through AI-generated copies and clones of Victorian-era paintings. You should get out and enjoy it in real life, in person. Because, yeah, it really is beautiful. Yeah. Enjoy life. You only get one, so you'd better enjoy it. Yep. At the end of the day, you don't get to decide what I feel, okay? That's how it works. Yep. Anywho, it's laundry day, so I gotta go do laundry. Okay, take care, be well, stay safe.